Karen from EdibleWildFood.com here, and this evening I'm doing a video on the prickly Sowthistle, Sowthistle asper. The reason why I'm doing it tonight is because the weather over the next couple of days doesn't look very good, and what doesn't look very good here may even get worse. So I want to make sure I get this while I can. Now this is an annual or a biennial, and it's called prickly Sowthistle for a reason. Let's see if I can get a nice close-up of the leaf margins. There we go. And there. And believe it or not, this is edible, but I certainly wouldn't throw it into a sandwich, that's for sure. Now it is in the aster family, and I want to backtrack a little bit to show you the flowers, because right now they're closed. But this morning, as you can see, when the sun comes out, the flowers open up. There's small loose clusters of flowers that occur at the leaf axils. The flowers have yellow ray floret petals. And as you can see, definitely resembles the dandelion, but they're much smaller. These measure anywhere between 1.5 and 2 centimeters, which is 1 inch. As funny as this sounds, I've been foraging for decades, and I've never come across this plant in the wild, even though it's quite common, apparently, right across Canada and the United States, even into Alaska. Now this is a plant that can grow up to 4 feet tall. This one's doing quite well. There we go. Let's take a, actually, you know what? I'm going to be taking this down anyway, so I'm going to do some close-up videos of the stem and the root for you later. Now these leaves are shiny. And again, I mentioned, you can see that they're rather prickly. Oh, sorry about this, everyone. There we go. And when they first were growing, they formed a basal formation down here at the base. And this plant, actually, can grow anywhere from sea level up to 8,000 feet. The genus Sowthistle is Greek for Sowthistle. Sowthistle was published by Carl Linnaeus in the 1700s. This plant is native to northern Africa, Asia, and Europe. It was introduced to North America, South America, Australia, and New Zealand. The leaves at the base are huge. This is over 30 centimeters. This has got to be at least 14 inches or so. I'll have to measure it later. And as you ascend the stem, the leaves become smaller. Even though this was an introduced plant to North America, many of the North American First Nations peoples would use this as famine food. And in some cases, not only just eat the leaves, which actually taste quite nice, I think. The stem would be consumed like celery. So I'm going to bring you over here because look what I have here. Perennial Sowthistle. I have a video about that. I will link it below in the description box. Actually, I've got quite a bit of it. You can see the difference there in size. And I also have annual Sowthistle. And there's another one up there. And you can see that the annual version has a totally different leaf structure. Okay, the moment of truth. Time to dig this baby out and check out the root system. It's going to be a little tricky with this tiny little trowel. We're going to do it as best as we can. You can see those tap roots. They're giving my husband some trouble. Oh, wait a minute, there we go, look at that. Look at the roots there. Fibrous tap roots. All right. As you can see, this is about 5 inches long in total. There's the main tap root here, and a lot of fibrous roots coming off that main tap root. Quite impressive. Oh, and actually, speaking of impressive, the perennial, or the prickly Sowthistle plant can produce up to 20 to 26,000 seeds. And those seeds are viable in the soil for up to 8 years. Now let's check out the stem. I don't know about that information that said that you can eat the stems raw, like celery. I just tried to take a bite out of that, and my gosh, is it tough. I guess you'd have to steam it first. But anyways, as you can see now, it's been torn apart. It's fun examining it. I didn't show you earlier how the leaves clasp the stem. And there we go. And of course, one other thing to mention is how it multi-branches from the taproots. All right, one more thing to show you before I sign off. Here's one of those large leaves. And check out how long it is. There we go. Just over 12 inches. Actually, it's almost 13 inches. So when I made that guess of 14, I was pretty darn close. What I'm going to do now is gather up the good looking leaves, because of course many of them now are not so good. And you know, I mentioned earlier that I wouldn't eat it in a sandwich. Well, I would. Again, yes, this is the prickly Sowthistle, but my gosh, it's actually not bad tasting at all. And those prickles per se are not like the stinging nettle, not by a long shot, or like any other thistle. Yeah, they do prick you a little bit, but it doesn't hurt. On that note, I want to thank each and every one of you sticking it out right to the end of this video. I truly appreciate your support. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And to all my subscribers, I love you all ever so much, and I thank you. If you like this video, please share. Please give it a thumbs up. And if you want notification of future videos, please make sure you hit that bell. And if you have this plant, give it a try. It's not bad at all. But these are going to go into a salad. I have a couple of events I'm doing this weekend, so I'm going to test it out on these individuals who are more than willing to try. And thank you.